Aladdin live action.
Do I remember Aladdin?
Speechless.
Do you remember? You don't even know Aladdin.
You don't know him like I do.
You don't know Aladdin.
You don't know.
I didn't even know you watched Aladdin.
I did. I watched it when it came out. Crazy, right? Because I never watched movies. It's because Naya was living with us then.
Oh. How come you didn't watch movies with me when we were living together?
We never saw each other when we were living together.
I know.
The only times we would see each other would be in passing when we'd be like, you eat yet?
You hungry?
You
feeling a little hungry or what?
How's your tum-tum feeling? Pretty
Do
empty.
you remember when we were both, finally we had like a free moment for us, you know?
To love. Yeah.
To love and to hold and to cherish. And so we were both like, wait, are you hungry by chance? And so we were so excited. We went to like Subway. And I remember this so vividly because I loved getting the dill pickle Lays.
Yes.
People don't like them. Ugh, haters.
They don't get it.
They don't get it like I do. But anyway. So then we got a little Subway. We went back to our apartment, sat down in our room, and we were like, let's watch a movie. Let's watch a scary movie. Bitch, we put on Terrifier. I was so disgusted.
We didn't eat at all.
No, we didn't. I think I took
we
one
started, and then we were like, wait. I'm not hungry anymore.
Yeah, I think we were just skimming because we were really curious to know how it ended. But it was really disgusting. Yeah. We're not into gore like that. And so we were just like skimming through it.
One of my favorite memories of when we lived together is because we had one room with 3 girls. It was you, me, and our other roommate. Shout out, Lily.
Shout out.
Who's also reading Frida McFadden books. Isn't that crazy?
My God.
Isn't that crazy?
We should like ask her what she thinks.
I'm just like, ugh. No, but I love Lily so much. All 3 of us lived together and in one room. So we had bunk beds. And you were on top and I was on bottom. And I have this very vivid memory. Lily wasn't there, but your TV was in front of us and we put on a scary, I think it was like a Taiwanese movie.
Oh my God.
I was so freaked out. I was like, I need you to hold my hand. And you were just like, wait. And I hear you struggling up there like, and I just see your head pop.
Oh yeah, I just put my hand down.
I was like,
so you reached up and held it. That was really cute.
I still have that picture. I just need to look for it.
I think I do too. I'll have to look for it.
It's a beautiful moment. Isn't that crazy we lived together?
I know. I feel like we didn't take advantage.
We didn't.
That bums me out sometimes.
It does bum me out, but I was in the middle of my last year and you were commuting.
I was working like 40 minutes away, I think.
Yeah.
So long drives. But
dang.
One day you and I will have sleepovers and read a
I know.
Because you promised me, you swore to me that you would watch Maleficent with me. And
we still haven't watched
how many years has it been?
It's only been 2. You're making it sound
feels like 10.
I am so down to do that. I think that would be a lot of fun.
I have a long itinerary for us. So
I am looking forward to this.
Thank you.
I really hope that your husband is a part of this because I think he's really funny.
Oh, dude, he loves face masks, so he'd be so down. He would do the whole like, you know those like, what are they called? The separators?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
The nail polish?
Yes. I love that.
He's down. He's one of the girlies.
Yeah, I was about to say that. You remember when our group chat kind of just decided like, yeah, your husband is one of the girlies.
He really is. Like, he gets it. He's so always on the women's team. And I'm like, I
love that.
I know how to pick him. Okay, listen. I love our conversation. But let's get serious. Okay. You and I reviewed Powerless by Lauren Roberts last year.
Yes.
And I didn't know how much this book would divide us, would rock your existence. And it's so funny because I think back to that day.
Yes.
Cheli and I were so drunk. We were so drunk that we
so gone.
We had to like stop filming like a fifth into, I think it was a fourth into filming that.
Yeah.
We stopped and we were like, let's start over. Because we were going on.
We did.
We were going on so many tangents.
That's so
that
funny.
I think we were like an hour into filming, but we weren't even like into the story yet. Like
Dude.
we were just kicking. We were just talking.
And it's funny because when you go watch, have you watched it recently?
Not recently.
I went back to watch that episode, and both you and I sit, like, I think we make ourselves comfortable as the camera starts, and we both immediately go, I'm not drunk. I'm just dizzy. I'm not drunk. And then I think it's either you or me. Well, it's only two of us. But I think it's you that says, like, well, where am I?
Yeah.
And we're so gone.
We're so gone.
So the fact that we made a pretty decent episode out of that.
I'm so glad because I remember before we started filming, well, when we were drinking,
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I don't want to get too drunk because I need this one to make it.
Yes.
I need it to make it into our discography.
Yes, I totally agree. I think it was a banger.
I think so too. And then we filmed the 1.5 and then the second one as well.
It was Powerless. Powerful was the 1.5,
Mhm.
and then Reckless.
Mm-hmm.
was
So,
the 2.
Cheli, as Lauren Roberts' number one fan,
Mhm.
Powerless's
Mhm.
number one stan,
Thank you.
are you ready? Do you think talking about the conclusion of Powerless can fix your life?
I do think so.
Welcome to an episode of the Book Fix Podcast, a podcast where we fix lives one book at a time. I'm your host, Yajaira.
And I'm your host, Cheli. And as a preface, I might cry. I didn't cry in the last episode we filmed together because we bulk film. I might cry.
You say that
I
a lot.
might cry.
You say that a
Did
lot.
you see my Instagram stories?
And like, I don't want you to cry because,
No.
like, if you cry, I cry.
Did you
If
oh,
you
like
hurt-
an empath?
If you hurt, I hurt. If you're a bird, I'm a bird. I was an empath before it became a thing.
Yeah, I know. Before there was a word for it, they were just, wow, that's a really sweet girl.
She just feels too good, too hard, too deep.
Well, can I say, though, you really hurt me.
I hurt you?
You hurt me.
When? Right now?
When, no, you would never queen.
Oh, okay.
I'm kidding.
God, don't scare me.
You hurt me when we filmed Powerless.
Oh, when I was drunk.
Because I was under the impression that both you and I loved this book.
Oh.
When we first read it. I'm going to try to go through these books kind of quickly.
Mhm.
So 50% of this couch loved Powerless.
Okay.
And I'm that 50%.
Yeah, well, I
And-
think they can tell.
So these books are very Hunger Game Red Queen-esque. There was even like scandals that this book was copying the Red Queen because of
Mhm.
how similar it was.
Yes.
But before my mind knew that. This book has to do with our main character, Peyton Gray, who lives in the slums.
Mhm.
And because she happens to save this man named Kai, who is the enforcer to the king. So like the right-hand man.
Mhm.
Because of this, she gets put into these trials, very Hunger Games.
Mhm.
And through this, she figures out that there's like this whole resistance against the main kingdom, Ilia, in the books.
Mhm.
So she joins the revolutionaries, the resistance, in order to take down the king. But ends up kind of crushing on Kai, the main guy.
Yeah.
This book ends with her not winning the trials and her losing one of her best friends.
Her only best friend.
Her only best friend.
Adina.
Yes. And I lived, I laughed, I loved, I cried.
Mm-hmm.
I experienced so much in this book just for you to tell me this book sucks.
Well,
And let me tell you why.
I had a lot of questions.
Yes.
I just felt like there was no point to the trials. I mean, there
Mhm.
was that whole similarity of needing the upper class to care for the contestants.
Yes.
But in the Hunger Games, it made sense to me because they would get sent
Rations.
supplies or something, right? But in this version, there was really nothing. There was nothing that they benefited out of doing like interviews or promotions, I guess.
And even these trials, they didn't make sense. Like, the person who won the trial gained nothing.
Yeah, there was nothing that they gained. Oh, and also this whole society is separated between people who have powers and people who don't have powers. So our main character doesn't have any powers, but she's been like faking being psychic.
Yeah.
Because she's like really good at
she's very perceptive.
Reading people, you know, even though most of her readings are based around like jewelry. And so I just had a lot of questions. And I mean, there was like a big emphasis on Kai winning the trials to kind of like showcase that, oh, yes, he's the enforcer, right? He's meant to be the enforcer. But like he didn't win.
And it didn't matter.
He was still the enforcer after that. Kit, the brother of Kai, is the prince. But like at the end of the book, Peyton kills the king,
which is his dad.
So now Kit's the king at the end of the book.
I went from walking in bright-eyed,
walking on sunshine.
By the way, I was like, I had just gotten tested and was negative for COVID after being positive for 2 weeks. I was over here breathing fresh air, like I'm so excited to go to my best friend's house and talk about a book we both love.
Oh, okay.
And you forced me. No, you switched me. I went from a 5 to a 2-star by the end of that.
Down.
And it hurt me so much.
Yeah. And it's so funny because you still always bring up this series.
I actually have all the books in my car.
Oh.
Except for Fearless. I haven't bought it yet. But, or will I? But
she will.
But I remember feeling so sad about it. So then come book 1.5, it has to do with Adina, which is her best friend that died at the end of the first book. And both you and I were like, didn't this book feel like we just saw a love story that happened in the first book that we missed, but it was only written for us to like Adina?
Yeah, it was almost like she forgot to make us care about her and realized after and was like, okay, let me just like flesh her out a little bit more. And then we were both really upset because we book film. And so we talked about Powerful, but we also talked about Reckless, the second book. And the man that she was falling in love with, Mac, was not in the second book. And so we kind of just felt like, what was the point of writing him then?
Because what he seemed like, because he was so set on breaking into the castle during the trials because his cousin Hera was in the trials.
Yeah.
So he wanted to save her because that was his only family. And I was under the impression that after him watching Adina die so horribly, that he would have been like, I hate this king.
So Adina was killed by another contestant, Blair. And I think she like stabbed her in the heart because her power is like manipulating
things. Yeah. So I was under the impression like if this guy saw that and loved her so much and had nothing else to lose, I would have assumed that he would have came up as a revolutionary.
Yeah.
You know, he would have been there for the fight, but he wasn't.
He was missing.
Thank you.
And I was disappointed. So it was nice to see Adina's story, but I mean, it wasn't referenced in the first book at all. Like the fact that her bangs were uneven because Mac cut them uneven. So it was just kind of like, okay, cool. So the second book could have been an email, honestly. It could have just been an email. No. It could have just been an epilogue.
No.
Nothing happened in the second book.
Everything happened. You know why you're saying nothing happened? Because it was all pretend. It was all pretend.
Nothing happened.
That was Lauren Roberts' favorite word. Someone drinking game. Anytime the word pretend comes up in Reckless, take a shot. Don't do that.
Don't do
die.
that. That's dangerous.
So the entire book was, at the end of book 1, Kit tells Kai, go get her for me as my enforcer. And he's like, got it. King, say less. And so with all this hatred, but kind of confusion about how he feels about Peyton, he goes to get her. But in his mind is set like, she's probably going to die. And I'm probably going to be the one to kill her in front of my brother.
Yeah.
So no feelings. Immediately sees her and is like, oh my God.
He folds so quick. Oh, I did see that one. I saw when you said man turned into a 7.
Yeah, dude. For real though. He folded so quick.
You were like, and she turned into a backward 7. No, it's funny because they're meant to be enemies to lovers,
Yes.
but they're both very much like
in love with each other.
Yeah, like right away. So.
Yes. And there was a scene I really liked in which they were both like in this cellar and water started to seep in and it was slowly filling up. And there was like tangled. There was a point where they were not going to make it.
Yeah.
And they automatically realized that and just started making out because it was like, we both know this ain't pretend. And whatever, we'll get into that. But they do get out and then on their journey back to the castle because she is his prisoner, they're handcuffed together. He's just like, wait, hey, I think I'm in L with you. Love, love, Love.
Yeah.
And she's just like, oh my gosh. And then he takes off the handcuffs and is like, if you run, I'm not going to stop you. I don't, whatever fate is in there, I don't want that to happen to you. I can't do that to you.
Yeah.
And they're in a poppy field while this is happening. And them being in the poppy field, they were there for a while. That was their happiest time together. But automatically they're caught by the guards. And when they walk in at the end of book 2 in front of Kit, who the entirety of book 2, he was going kind of crazy.
So there was like rumors circulating about Kit that he was like becoming like the mad king because he would like talk to himself and then he wouldn't eat. He would like throw his food out the window. And so when he finally sees Peyton, I mean, Kai thought, oh my God, he's going to make me kill her. And I love her so much. I love her so much. But then Kit kind of just like announced like, oh, she's going to be the queen.
She will be my bride.
The end. Again, nothing happened.
Everything happened.
You see how quickly you went through that?
No, I mean, I could talk about that book for hours.
Okay, go ahead. What else happened?
Put a pin in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Come back to it. So, finally, the book I have been waiting for.
Fearless. Again, by Lauren Roberts, just in case.
Can I say something before we even start?
Go ahead.
Didn't know this was a trilogy. Thought this was going to keep going.
It literally says it in the summary.
I didn't know. I go in blind. I'm not reading summaries.
I think we had already talked about it.
Yes. She forgot.
It's gone.
It's gone. So I was over here like, this is going to be it's long because a lot happens and there's going to be a big cliffhanger at the end. That's what I'm expecting. So this book starts with, it's like automatic of her just...
Wait, hold on. This book is very long. We're not going to cover everything.
No.
So, spoilers ahead. Oh, before we even start about the book, though.
Oh my gosh, we talked for a while.
We do have book clubs, which you can find in Fable and in Goodreads. We are the Book Fix Pod. So, this month, the month of May, we were feeling romance. We were feeling drama. We were feeling... So,
yes.
The book of the month is going to be Enchantra by Kaylee Smith.
Yes.
So if you want to join in the discussion, please join our book clubs. We are going to make an episode about our thoughts at the end of the month.
Yes. If you want an easier place to find our book clubs, you could go to our Linktree, linktr.ee/thebookfix, where you can find a link to join our book clubs as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. So this book starts off with Peyton, and she's just like, I was prepared to kick the bucket.
Yeah.
I was ready for that.
She was like ready to take a deep breath, like, oh my God, this journey has been so long.
But here I am, about to be betrothed.
To this guy?
To this guy?
Oh, and at this point, it's very, like, obvious that she and Kai are, like, in love with each other, you know?
Yes.
Because, you know, that moment before she was captured, things were getting a little hot, heavy.
And if you forgot, just in case, because you know me, small mind sometimes. If you forgot that she was in love with Kai, don't worry about it. They mention it every single page. Every single page. I'm like, sometimes I forget that she's betrothed to the brother.
Yeah.
But she is very quick to say, I'm betrothed to one when I want to love the other.
Yeah.
Every single page. You'll never miss it. You'll never miss it.
I just love also the fact, was it book 2? Yes, it was book 2. At the end of book 2, we
Yes.
finally got Kai's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, it ended with Kai's perspective.
Oh my gosh, it's the one I love. Yes, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, I'm excited.
And Kai was like, I guess the beast doesn't get the beauty.
Oh my god.
And so Cheli and I were both like, well, mostly me, I think. I'm not going to speak for you. I don't remember anymore.
No, speak for me, please.
I was cringing, okay?
Yes.
So when it happened again in book 3 in Fearless, when he was like, I guess the beast doesn't get the beauty.
It's so funny though, because it's become predictable at this point.
Yeah.
And it's like, man only knows 10 words. That's crazy.
I thought it was hilarious.
It's this book. It's going to be weird to explain this. This book had me crying at some points.
Crying, laughing.
But laughing so much. I'm going to send you this. This might not make it to the episode.
Okay.
When I read the first 2 chapters, I was so angry.
Why?
I was so angry. Because this book starts off with her going like, I can't believe it. I'm not ready for marriage. And then the king of Ilia, Kit, comes up. And I guess it's like all of his council, which, by the way, what do? Nothing.
Counsel him.
It's just people, I know. It's just people that stand there at this point. She walks in and she's all bloody because it was right, like, media res, right when she got back from the poppy fields was just pulled. And then he goes, everyone in this room, everyone, she is to be queen. Why, you may ask? She may be a good for nothing, trashy garbage. It's like, Kate, you can stop. Oh, sorry. Ordinary. But ordinaries don't cause the plague. And
plot twist.
In my kingdom 2. I decree I'm going to call it Ilia 2.0. We are going to show unity with the ordinaries. We are going to coexist with them. And to show that, she shall be my bride. And then someone's like, but didn't she kill the king?
Did you see her kill the king?
No. Even better than that. Even better than that. It's actually, he says my favorite line, put a pin in it. We'll talk about that at the very important meeting we're going to have tomorrow. And I was over here like, oh my God, big meeting tomorrow. Okay? Just remember I'm feeling like that. Okay? And then she puts her hand out and is like, I accept for the unity of Ilia. And while he's putting the ring on,
her nail is broken.
I know Kai is hiding behind a pillar because he's like, I guess the beast never wins. He's just fucking feeling it.
When does the villain get the girl?
Nice, guys. Finish last. Like, he's feeling it.
Throwback.
I know, for real. He's feeling it, okay? I'm so angry because what did he expect?
What do you mean? He expected happily ever after.
No.
True love's kiss.
I hated this because he was like, I remember. Okay, it doesn't end like that. So afterwards, she's wearing the ring and she walks out as stoic as possible. By the way, another Lauren Roberts' favorite word, stoic, because no one ever shows emotion in this book. It's always just in their minds. She walks out stoic, but then you can see her shoulders start kind of trembling. And she's like, or Kai's walking behind her and it's like, oh my gosh, the queen's about to have a breakdown. No one can see that. So he takes her into the broom closet and immediately is like, it's so hard to see you with another. And then she's like, well, what are you going to do about it? Take off my ring and claim me. And it's like, bitch, if I can call you that. You just decreed that you want Ilia to be together. And you had a whole monologue in your head that was like, I'm doing this for what I've always wanted. This is right. And you're so quick to be like, take off the ring. It's like, hello?
We need to keep the tension going, Cheli. And you think the tension is just going to go away?
And you know what's funny? Like, I thought I would have hated this conversation seeing it once. Good thing we saw it 3,000 more times.
Yeah, well, just in case you forgot.
Lauren?
What I did notice was she stopped doing that thing where it would be in one perspective and it would end, and then the next perspective would go back.
Oh, yeah.
Would go back in time and tell us what just happened in the other perspective, but in this new perspective.
But you know what? She didn't have to do that because the characters always repeated themselves.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
I heard about this freaking plague like 30 times. I know it's fake. Everyone, my grandma knows it's fake now. You've said it so many times.
She knows.
I don't care. But just in case you forgot, you know.
Just in case.
So the big meeting happens. This big meeting
Very
where
important meeting.
now they can finally talk about the truth.
Mm-hmm.
This is when you say it. Could have been an email. This meeting was less than a page long.
Uh-huh.
And he was just like, it was self-defense.
All right, you're dismissed.
You're dismissed.
Bye.
Love you guys. You're telling me you couldn't tell the people when Peyton came in, oh, the reason that my father passed was because it was self-defense. He was hurt and in his delirious state, he did attack Peyton and Peyton was just trying to defend herself. Thank you. You could have just told me in an email. You could have just told me there.
The suspense needed to be suspenseful.
No. What was that?
Mm-hmm.
Just for that to happen and Kit and Peyton to have a moment where they have to lock hands just like this when you do the hugging turtle thing where it's like that. Like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kai being like, oh my gosh, the beast never wins.
Get off my girl.
Yeah, he's losing it.
He's very, very jealous.
Oh my God. And then every single time one of these little meetings happens.
Also, there was a moment when Kai was with his brother Kit, and Kit was like, here's your ring, your enforcer ring. You know, you brought her to me. Here's your ring. And it was kind of, I was honestly expecting a moment of clarity for them to explain, like, okay, so if your brother doesn't want to be the enforcer, now what? Yeah. Like, what happens now? Mm-hmm. Like, who's next?
I was honestly thinking that there was going to be someone leaving their post. I didn't know if it was going to be Kit or Kai to be like, I don't want this anymore.
Yeah.
But I was waiting for something like that. But no, he's over here like, the ring, the symbolism behind the ring, which, by the way, if you missed this conversation, did happen 30 more times. The weight of the blood that I've spilled being the enforcer, how it hurts. Okay, just go ahead and put it back on.
Yeah.
And you know, he was so close to showing emotion, but he stayed stoic.
He stayed stoic.
As a king does. Sorry, he's not king.
He's the enforcer.
Thank you. So
let's jump ahead.
Not much happens.
Let's jump ahead because a lot happens throughout the whole story. Like I'm saying, like twists and turns and.
But the first, I would say maybe 150 pages is just Peyton and Kai secretly seeing each other and then
getting caught.
Yes, and then mid-kiss being like, we can't do this. What do you mean, Pei? I don't want you to be my secret. Mm-hmm. And then like 2 pages later,
I want
you to be my secret.
I need you to be my secret.
Meet me under the willow tree.
Oh yes, the willow tree.
Mm-hmm. So let's just skip to
the point.
Yes. So she wants to be liked as a queen. Well, Kit wants her to be liked as a queen.
Well, I mean, that's putting it a little loosely. I think everyone despises her because she killed the beloved king. I didn't realize how beloved he was. I didn't understand because I didn't think he really did anything for them. You know?
No, but he put on trials.
But like,
he put on trials.
Cares? Oh. Who cares? No. So anyway, there was like a moment of everyone realizing that no one is happy with her being queen, or
obviously
she's going to be queen. And so like, I think a bombing happens or something. And so they decide, you know what? You have to prove that you're worthy of being the queen. And let me tell you, this whole time when Kit is explaining to his people, okay, guys, so Peyton is going to enter the trials alone. She's going to do 3 really difficult trials to prove that she is brave, benevolent, bold, whatever.
Brave.
Brutal. Brave, benevolent, and brutal. Yes. I think it was 3 Bs.
Yes.
And because that was the former king's motto.
Yes.
And so he wanted her to prove that she was worth the title. Mm-hmm. So he's telling all of his people. She's going to join the trials alone to prove she's worthy.
Okay.
This whole time, I was like, Kit's trying to get her murdered.
You thought so?
Kit is trying to get her killed.
I was over here thinking, I read about the trials once. What do you mean alone? What's the point of this? Like, I did, and to me, my big brain, you know?
Huge. It's like this big.
It's so big.
I've seen it.
Yeah, but like sometimes it's this big. Crazy. Okay, so why was this going to make them like her?
Because they, like you said, they love trials. They crave that shit. So they're just like, wait, she might die? I'm gonna tune in.
okay, fine. Maybe she can be queen.
But either way, I felt like even if she, either way, they probably still wouldn't be happy with this decision.
So before we talk about trials, can I say one of my favorite scenes?
Go ahead.
My favorite. Okay, it has to do with the meetings, and it has to do with Lauren Roberts' writing. Sorry. Okay, still love you, Queen. So
wait, I'm so confused. Okay, go ahead.
So there's this scene that I have so vividly in my brain where it's one of the meetings where for some reason all of the council shows up and Kai, Peyton, and Kit are standing there like besties. Mm-hmm. And while Kit is speaking, I don't like when characters say 4 words and then it gives them emotion. So it's like, so today you're gathered here, Kit said as he took a breath, because I'm going to talk about he looked to his left or he looked to his right. Mm-hmm. This very important thing. Peyton.
You don't like breaks in the dialogue.
No. And they kept doing that. And one thing they were doing too was every single thing he said to Peyton, groundbreaking. She was over here like, I can't believe he said that. Oh my gosh. Maybe he's never liked me ever. Mm-hmm. And then he would say something else. I knew it. I've always trusted him. Maybe I trusted too early. And I'm just like, Peyton, let him finish his sentence.
And Peyton was so desperately trying to rebuild the friendship that she had with Kit. Mm-hmm. Like, she would have dinner with him. Like, she would infiltrate his dinner, sit down and be like, I think we should try to be friends, no?
Can I say something, though? Mm. I don't remember the friendship being that strong.
What do you mean you loved it?
I don't remember it being as strong as they mentioned it was.
They mentioned something about chocolates, and I don't remember that scene.
I don't remember that scene either.
So I was like,
they made it sound like they were, because
they were making friendship bracelets.
Yeah, they weren't though. But I remember the first book just being her and Kai, and Kit was in there a little bit, but not really. Well,
it kind of felt like it was a love triangle, though.
Yes, I get it, but. The really only big thing that I remember from that is the fact that Kai was jealous that Kit asked her to the ball.
Yeah,
gala,
to be the dance partner.
Hated that.
But I mean, even Kai noticed that Peyton was like trying to get closer to Kit. And so he was getting jealous. Mm-hmm. And she tried to explain to him, if I'm going to be married to him, if we're going to be together ruling, I want to have like a calm relationship, you know?
Yes. So, going into the trials, the first one is her... I'm going to go through this so quick. The first one is her going
into like a cave.
Yes.
It was a tomb. She was going to retrieve like a former queen's crown that like
no one has been able to find.
People have been able to find it, but there's something super scary in there that people can't get it, you know? Like they end up leaving or dying or whatever.
I thought it was funny that they were just big bats. Because bats are really nice.
Oh, I know. They're so cute.
They're really nice, actually. Just don't bug them.
They're really sweet.
I can't.
They do look scary, though. Don't get me wrong. Like, if they're flying.
No, I get it, too.
It does look scary. But if there was a giant bat, girl, I would run.
We'd make eye contact, and I'd be like, that's my son.
Friends, maybe?
But she finished that trial so quick, came out with the crown, put it on her head, and was like, that's me.
Oh, but bandits did try to infiltrate, like, before she got out of the cave, I think.
Yeah.
They tried to take the crown from her because Kit announced it to everyone what she was doing. Again, this is why I was like, this bitch is trying to kill her.
Yes.
Because why would he tell everyone what her trial is?
He was supporting her.
What I didn't understand, this wasn't televised though.
No.
Like, I think what was televised was her going in, and that was it.
Then what's the point of these trials?
I don't know. I don't get it, honestly.
I don't get it either.
Because, like, honestly, Kai could have been in there helping her, but
okay. Well, then, funny you mentioned that because, you know, she has to do these trials alone. Mm-hmm. So the second trial.
Wait, hold on. I wanted to say something about the first one.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I did actually really like that scene when she, like, when I think they were all having dinner or something. They were all, like, partying. And this bitch just walks in, bloodied, crown on her head, or she's carrying the crown. I don't remember, but she's just like, she's just like, I'm here. Because I think before that they were like, she didn't make it. I don't think she could have made it. There's no way. Those bats are too big.
So to also bring up before the second trial, I just remembered in between trials they have balls.
They love balls.
They love balls, and
they love bees.
I did really like that moment where her, Kit, and Kai danced together.
Oh
like
God, that was so cringe. I was cringing so bad. Like, literally, I was like, I need to stop reading.
Me.
Hold on, let me explain.
Go ahead.
She gets super drunk. Was it this one? No, this was the second one.
No, it was this one. Because this is when she sees Blair and she's like, oh, I want to kill her so bad.
Oh, yeah, she sees Blair, who killed her best friend, Adina. And so she gets super drunk. And then she's just like, I decree that we all have to dance together at all of these balls. So all three of them. And I just want to point out, at this point in the story, Kai is still like really jealous of her and Kit together. Yes. So even though it's obvious that her partner is supposed to be Kai, it still kind of feels like, wait, are you leading Kit on by, you know, trying to have dinner with him, trying to befriend him, all of a sudden dancing with him? And so now they're over here dancing together. I was cringing, but anyway.
I was in tears. Thank you. Two different sides of the same coin.
And that's so funny because you cringe more than I do.
I do, but I was eating it up. And the thing I was eating up the most was the fact that they would have these moments where he would just be like, I miss you, brother. And it's like, I've never left.
Oh my God.
Fuck.
They loved saying like, it's you and me till the end.
It's you and me. Mm-hmm. And it really was. I was so in it. I'm here for this brother love. I'm like, I don't know what she's cooking up, but I know it's gonna end good. I was so hopeful.
Okay, anyway, so what's the next trial?
So the second trial, she needs to go visit the kingdom of Israel.
Oh, yes.
And she needs to go create peace because the next B is benevolence. Mm-hmm. So it's like, go tell them it's all good out here.
We're all friends out here.
Ordinaries, they're one of us. I'm an ordinary. I'm marrying Kit, who's the new king. Also, I killed his dad. Here's some roses so you can use for healing.
And also, the point of this is so that they can open up their trades.
Yes. But they do have to cross the ocean.
This shit didn't really matter.
Okay, but also, I thought it was her trial.
It is her trial.
Why are people allowed to go with her?
How is she going to cross an ocean? This girl
Swim it!
She did.
Took him 6 days. Would have been taking me 6 minutes.
She should have found the Loch Ness monster and just rode that shit.
Yes, yes, that's what I'm saying. They're all in the middle of their dinner again. Instead of bloody, she's like, "It's
mine now." With the lasso leg. That would have been amazing if she did that. She didn't though.
The beast did get the beauty.
The Loch Ness monster.
Yes.
So she ended up going through boat, but Kai went with her.
And then Kai and her have that moment like, I guess this is pretend. I guess it's pretend here. They do have a little fight, though.
They do have a fight, yeah.
The fight has to do with her telling him, there's no us. Mm-hmm. Because while she's here, she meets the queen of this kingdom. Uh-huh. And the queen does catch her and Kai sleeping in the same bed. Mm-hmm. And she's over here like, I don't really care about that.
She does not care.
I loved her.
Which I loved her so much. Yeah, she was very confident, and I loved it.
And I wish she would have been in all the other books, but no. She was in this one for 2 seconds, and she basically says,
Best 2 seconds.
I don't like Ilya, but I like you. I like your spunk. I like that you killed that man. Wish it were me, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I have no friends, and I have a lot of enemies, but it would be nice to have a friend. I'm not opening trade because of the king. I'm opening trade because of you.
Yeah.
So I will accept the roses. Thanks. And they go back. And the best fight scene, I would say, happens when they fight that big ass monster. And, you know, everyone's dying left and right. Gruesome deaths. Kai, okay, wait, hold on. I'm cooking. Kai gets thrown off the boat, but with his elite powers, takes someone telekinesis or whatever, puts a rope out and catches it, and you know, and
the monster.
No, he catches the rope and he comes back up. Oh. And Peyton and him have a moment where, like, I know we just fought, but I forgive you. There isn't us. There isn't forever. It's not pretend. The beast does get whatever, beauty beast, whatever. And so then Peyton, who has done nothing, but in this whole fight, look around like, Kai, oh my gosh, you know?
Yeah. She's like frantically looking around.
In, I would say, generously, in one paragraph, looks at the beast growls, and she growls back. And as it's coming for her, she throws a spear, which, by the way, spears didn't work on this beast the whole fight. But this one did, though.
This one was magical.
This one did. Oh, no, well, she's an ordinary.
Oh,
so,
you're right.
Throws it, hits him, and the beast
is dead.
Is it dead, or does it just leave? Does it die? Because if it dies, that's crazy.
I thought it died, but I don't know.
And everyone in this boat who has hated her, it's their freaking Tumblr post. You know the one, and everyone clapped for me for 30 straight minutes. They literally look at her, and even the freaking captain is like, "Huzzah! The Silver Savior!" And everyone starts saying, "Silver Savior."
But they hated her before, though.
No, but they love her.
Didn't they try to kill her before she made it?
That doesn't matter.
They did try to kill her.
They did, but it's fun. It's all
also, it's important to just say that this is the first time they mention, an illusionist was on the boat.
Yes.
And so you thought that I was here with you, but I wasn't.
Yes.
So for later, we'll talk about that. But
okay.
I do, let me just say it now.
Yes.
I do love this, okay? When they have a badass main character that's a girl. I love it. You know, I love that whole scene, like I mentioned, when she comes in, bloodied up, crown on her head, like, bitch, you didn't think you'd see me again, huh? Yep. I do love that. But there comes a point
yes.
where I felt like this isn't really realistic, though. This girl has no powers, and it's not like she's like honing in like fighting abilities, right? Like I know she can fight, but girl's gonna fight 10 bandits in the first.
Girl, yes.
Hold space again.
I totally agree with you because what I wanted and what was not delivered in these books, I really wanted her fake psychic abilities to be how she fought, where she was perceptive, like, okay, I noticed that I can attack this beast when he's doing this because I'm perceptive. I wanted that to be her strength.
That would have been really good.
Because that would have made sense to me. Because her just all of a sudden, because of her war cry, she killed it and it killed everyone else. You know, and for some reason you didn't fly off the boat when literally when you guys came up, there was just a stick. Like there was nothing left.
Splinter.
I know, everyone just holding onto that one little splinter, like kick men. Like I would have loved that because that would have made more sense to me. But like you mentioned in book 1 and book 2, her perceptiveness is really only like, wow, a ring? I know everything about you. Yeah. It's always rings.
It's always
rings for some reason.
And they even mention it in this book, because I think Lauren's listening. They mention it in this book she's having a conversation with the brothers, and then they ask her, like, but how did you know? Like, how did you know that this guy was married or this guy lost his wife? Or I don't remember the situation.
How by the way?
And she was just like, well, I'm perceptive. And honestly, it's, what was it? What's the word? It's just a gamble. Like, I'm gambling. But how are you always right,
I wish you would have been wrong sometimes.
Yeah.
To see that.
But also, like, then you're not that perceptive then.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on ever.
Yeah.
And the thing is, she isn't that perceptive. No. Like, in the whole of it, she fell for a lot of stuff that if she was as perceptive as she said, she should have seen everything coming. Yeah. But she never did because she was too trusting.
But I saw it all coming.
You did?
I did. Girl, third eye.
Dude, all my eyes were shut. My
eyes were open. No, dude, the way that I called everything. Lauren, I got you, girl.
Dude, I didn't though. So second trial ended. Second trial ended, and it's getting a little more real now because in between the second and third trial, she's picking out her wedding dress. She's doing all this stuff.
Picking out flowers.
Okay, 2 things I want to say before we start. To bring up that whole, you love a strong female protagonist. One thing I didn't like about her was how angry she got and forgot her role. Because there were moments where Blair, the person who killed her best friend, would come up. And immediately everything's like, I don't care that I'm queen. I don't care that what I do matters. I don't care about anything. She's dying. Yeah. And it's like,
people literally had to hold her. Yes. Because she was ready to kill Blair. Yes. Isn't it crazy that Blair has lavender hair? And isn't it crazy that our main character has silver hair?
Do you think they're...
No, like, I'm just like, wait, how common are these hair colors? Not common at all, right?
No, because everyone else had normal hair colors.
Yeah. Why do they have... Okay, Blair, she has a power, but...
That doesn't make any sense, actually. That's weird.
I'll bring that up later.
Okay, so...
Yes,
in between the second and third trial, just more of Kai going like, I want you, but I can't have you. The beast never wins.
The beast never wins, and my brother's gonna have you. And also, Kit does know. Yeah. Kit knows that they're in love.
About them.
Even though they try to hide it, which, whatever.
They're not good at it.
When was the moment when she attacked Blair?
It was, it was, what was the third trial again?
Brutality.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so it was before. Oh, my God. Yeah, okay, don't even get there. So a lot happens between that time. We need to hurry up because a lot happens. I'm sorry. So she does attack Blair again.
She kills Blair.
Does she?
She, like, sets her face on fire.
I thought Blair was at the end of the book.
She is, but she thought that Blair was dead.
And she...
Because she, like, puts her face in fire.
Yes.
And she gets hospitalized also. And they tell her Blair's dead. And so she's just kind of like, damn, I thought I would feel better, but I don't.
You know, as someone from the slums that sees the value in life, even with the most, like, the littlest things you can have. Because to her happiness was sharing one sticky bun with her best friend. You would think she'd be a little more empathetic. At least by this point.
She was unhinged.
No, she was unhinged. And then afterwards would be like, wow, I felt nothing. Crazy, huh?
Yeah. But I do love that trope. I'm not going to lie. I've told you that before. Yes. I love the trope of, like, you just want something so bad, but then when you finally get it,
it's not what you thought.
It's meaningless, honestly.
But it just felt it felt short to me in that sense because I was like, I hate it. I hated that this whole book you're like, I want to kill her so bad, and then you did it and you're like, oh.
Can I be honest? At first I was like, wait, why do we want to kill her so bad? I forgot. But okay, so she is going through sadness because she doesn't feel happy that she killed Blair and got revenge for Adina. So she decides, I'm going to go to the slums and just, like, sightsee. Go on a little tour at where Adina and I used to prowl.
Which I think is really funny because she only mentions Adina when she has dreams about her. She never mentions Adina.
No, that's what I wanted to bring up.
Yes.
So in the second book, No, in the first book. Remember in the first book when she first showed up and then she just like had that weird moment where she was like, oh my God, I feel so bad that I haven't even thought about Adina.
Yes.
And I said, it kind of felt like the author was trying to tell me like, oops, forgot to mention Adina. So then in the second book, she would think about her sometimes. But in this third one, I felt like Adina was mentioned so much. I felt like Adina was haunting me. Because she would have nightmares.
Yes.
But it felt frequent.
But it just felt disingenuous because it was always the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, I thought of Adina. I'm so sad about Adina. Okay, anyway. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, I thought about Adina again. And it's like every single time.
Yeah. I get it. It is kind of like a blur.
But go ahead. Tell us the best part. The best part.
Dude, when this happened, I was like, I can't wait.
I have so much to say, but please tell us.
Okay. So, she goes to the slums and she visits like where she and Adina used to sleep.
Which is just an alleyway.
Yeah. And lo and behold, Mac is there. And Mac looks at her pissed off. He's like ready to yell at her or whatever. But then he's like, it's you. And then he is angry with her. But then Peyton learned about their relationship through another maid. Yeah. The maid basically told her like, oh my God, Adina fell in love with this guy. She wanted to tell you, but she didn't want to distract you. And so when she sees Mac, she's like, oh my God, it's you. You're the guy that Adina was in love with. And so it happened in a way where like, I feel like this moment had to happen. Like it had to happen. But it felt so, I don't know, because I'll bring up more of why I feel this way.
Yes.
But when this moment was happening and she's like, can I have a hug? And they hug. I just felt like, who is this for? This is for...
I love you so much.
This is for us because we were bitching.
I love you so much. You don't even know. My whole heart.
I love you.
My whole heart.
My whole heart.
Literally...
Oh my God, I touched the mic.
I know. Yes.
Locked in.
You literally just spoke my truth right now.
Really?
Like I said, I have a lot of videos of me screaming about this book, so I'll send you the video. I don't know if it'll make it in here. I had a moment where I said...
Go follow our Book Fix pod on Instagram, though.
Yes,
we'll post it
there. I can put it there. Mm. So, spoilers for Endgame.
Oh my God.
That was one of the last Marvel movies I watched.
Yeah.
So, there's a scene at the end of Endgame.
But I feel like even if people haven't seen it, they know that scene.
Yes. Thank you for knowing. The scene where Tom Holland like jumps down, Spider-Man, spoiler, is Peter Parker.
People don't know that anymore.
Our comments, I didn't know it was him.
How dare you?
So when he jumps in and he's like, oh my gosh, this fight is so rough, so tough. What am I gonna do? I'm just one small boy. What am I gonna do? And then you hear, I forget who it is. I think it's Miss Marvel, who goes like, we'll help you. And he turns around and every single heroine you could think of in Marvel is standing behind him. Mm-hmm. And that scene was so like, oh my gosh.
Women get it done.
Women! You know, it was so big. None of them knew each other. When did you see any of them kicking it up?
Yes.
Any of them. No one, we can help you. Who
are these people?
Whatever. What? That was exactly this scene.
Spill, please.
Dude, the fact that Mac, I feel like I was watching a movie.
Yeah.
The fact that Mac and, Peyton hugged, I could see the theater already like, yes!
Also, can I just say, I felt disappointed because it felt like, so what has Mac been doing this whole time?
Just living here?
Literally nothing. Look, I understand. He's just been mourning, which is really sad.
Yes.
But like, that's it.
He seemed more proactive than that. He
did. I was expecting Mac to be like, nah, fuck this shit.
Started my own revolution. It's called the Mac Attack. no one's gonna see it coming. Like, I wanted more of him. So I'm so disappointed.
I'm disappointed.
That's all he did? And what, they get a hug? They have the same vest?
What, no hug?
What, no hug?
The same pockets?
Oh, our buttons got stuck. Just like she would have planned.
It's just sad. I don't know. I felt so like, okay, it's cute in theory. It feels like fan service. Like,
Yes.
okay, thank you. I guess we're wrapping that up in a bow and setting it off to sea.
So I feel like by this point, Lauren, her fingers were on fire. She's like, gosh, writing flames. Oh my God, I'm eating this up. But wow, what can I do? I know. I'm going to incorporate letter writing. They're going to eat this up. So for the next 40, 50 pages, it's just Kai and Peyton writing letters to each other because they're no longer like really seeing each other while she's preparing for the third task. And they're just so in love with each other.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so in love with each other. I think the beast does win, Pay.
Okay.
How'd you feel?
I mean, I did think the letters were cute, but this book was so long.
Yes.
Like, so long. And I felt like so much happened. I feel like we haven't even scratched the surface
No,
yet.
same.
We're not even there yet.
No, we're not.
Oh, my God. Let's just skip the letters. I don't care.
So when the third trial comes up, Kai's not there.
Oh, first. So there was a moment when Peyton was visiting Kai. And Kai can sense Kit's powers, right? But at this point, he's been sensing Kit to be a little off. Like, there's something off about him. But anytime anyone would try to ask him, he'd be like, I'm fine. I'm just a little under the weather.
But by the way, that's been happening since they came back from the second trial.
Yeah. And so Peyton hides in the closet when Kit comes into the room, and they're kind of just like talking. And Kit mentions, oh, by the way, Peyton's next trial is tomorrow. We didn't want to tell her. We just wanted to be a surprise, catch her off guard. Again, another reason I was like, this bitch is trying to kill her. Like, something's off here. And so he asks, oh, like, what's the trial? What is it? And like, he doesn't really like say. And so Peyton next day she's already up. The maids come in to like drag her out, but she's already up. She's been up. And so they take her to the same place that they killed Adina, which was the garden maze, I think. But she's just in the center, I think. I don't really remember.
I just imagine this to just be like a
open arena kind of thing. Yeah, that's kind of how I pictured it too. And so she's in the center, and that's when Kit's like, well, no, Pay's got to prove herself with the last one, which is brutality. She's got to kill whoever is here, right?
The power of all the elites.
The power of all of the elites, exactly. And so here comes in Kai.
I knew it.
Did you?
Well, my one brain cell knew it was going to be Kai.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh my God.
So the way that it was written, which I did reread it, because even when I was like listening to it, I was like, okay, Kai's acting weird, but whatever. Kai,
yeah, he was rough.
He immediately tells her, we got to make this look believable, okay? And then she's just like, okay. So then they start fighting, and he is burning her. He is hurting her. He like almost buries her alive. And then the next chapter would be Kai's perspective, and it would be like, Pay, please keep fighting. And then that's it.
That's it.
That's his whole chapter. Next chapter, Peyton's just like, oh my God, he's trying to kill me. And I get it. He's mad at me for some reason.
Hated me.
He's hated me, I guess. Now I'm finding out.
I guess the beauty doesn't get the beast.
I guess the beauty dies in this one. And so there's a moment when Kai is on top of her, or like in front of her.
About to kill her.
And he's like about to kill her. And she's just like crying, and she's just like, it's okay. Like, Adina died here. I would want to die here too. But just like right here in the chest, you know, like she's kind of like trying to
just like how she died. Trying
to guide the blade to like her heart. And she's also telling Kai, just like how I've killed people, that's the same way that I want to go as well. And so then Kai kind of like, his features, like his expression changes. And he's kind of just like, no, here, helps her sit up, gives her the blade and aims it to his own heart. And he's just like, just do it, girl. Just do it.
Okay, I don't want to. Here, I'll help you.
And she's just like screaming, crying, almost throwing up. And he's just like, push it in. And he's pushing the blade in while she's holding it too. And she's like crying. And she's just like, I've lost everyone. I don't want to lose you too. But then the blade is all the way into his heart. And he's like on the ground. She's crying, telling him that she loves him. And
her first time saying that.
Yeah, it's her first time. It's not his first time though.
No.
But he doesn't say anything like romantic. He just
says, "See you in the."
He just says "see." That's it.
Mm-hmm.
See, and she's just like, "Oh."
I'll never know what he was gonna say last.
Yeah, and so like the chapter after that, no, she runs up to where Kit is, and she's just like screaming, wanting.
Well, she doesn't run up. She looks at him, and it's just like, "You."
Yeah, and she wants to like attack him basically, but then they sedate her. And then the next day, it kind of felt like it was supposed to be like a dream. But then the maid is like, never really happened. And so then she's not allowed to leave the room.
Which I thought this part was going to be longer. Mm-hmm. But immediately you hear footsteps outside. And it's like, where is she? And she's like, it can't be. I killed him. It can't be. And her door, once again, is knocked off the hinges. I don't know why they try with these locks.
I don't know why they put it on the hinges.
The workers are just, man, I'm out of here.
I just set that shit up.
Hey, please. I got the good locks, too. And he's like, Peyton. And she's like, oh, my God.
Runs to his arms. They kiss. They embrace. They're just like full of love.
So they drugged him.
So do you want to explain what happened? Also, first question. Did you know what was happening?
Good question. No. So
really?
I thought he was dead. And I didn't cry because I was like, something else has to happen. Yeah. She needs to have a secret power where she's like, bring back the dead. Bah, bah, bah. I was expecting something like that. So when he popped up, I was like, I know who she killed. Mm-hmm. But my head, I was like, why would he have done that?
Great question. Mm-hmm. I didn't know like right away, but I knew when he was acting weird. Because also, if this was Kai, they would have kissed in that last moment. Mm-hmm. They would have been like, see you in the meadow.
Under the earth. Under the willow tree. Yeah, that one.
But that didn't happen.
Oh, God.
And so then we find out that there was an illusionist near the arena. And she goes to see the body of the person she killed. And of course, it's Mac.
It's Mac. Mac attack.
And you know what I hate? They do this a lot in this book where it's always like, oh, he did this because A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever. Yeah. It's like, you know the whole reasoning. You just explained to me why he did it, but it's not coming from him. So I guess I'll take your word for it. I don't know.
I hate it. Mm-hmm. I hate it. I don't know why it hit her so hard. Mm-hmm. She just met him. Yeah. But I do understand her love for Adina and he was trying to say, see you in the sky. In the stars. In the stars. Because that was something Adina had said to him. Mm-hmm. I could have done without that. I hate that Mac's whole thing was, I saw the love of my life died. I did nothing. I died.
I died in the same spot as her.
That's not romantic.
It's not romantic, and it's definitely not what I wanted for him. Mm-hmm. Like, I didn't want him to sacrifice himself. And then it didn't make any sense to me because Kit explained it like, oh, he came to us. Like, he told us that he wanted to fight you. Yeah. And so, okay, so then he's fighting her, hurting her. Mm-hmm. But then why did he tell her, let's make this look real before fighting her?
Because maybe he thought that's what Kai would have said. But then did they prep him?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
But this just felt like such a sad ending for him.
Out of all the characters in this book, I just wanted one win for him. I wish he would have done something something Adina would have wanted him to do with his life. You know?
Save her best friend?
Something. Mm-hmm. He did nothing. I didn't care. I loved Mac, but I just didn't care by this point. Mm. So after the third trial, she's made it guess what? The people don't love her. Not
Wow,
really.
crazy.
Who would have thought? But someone is like, hey, wait a minute. Because Kai's just alive now. Because, you know, the enforcer can't beat him. Not even death can beat him.
Yeah.
Like, some elite is like, wait a minute. If she can't kill the enforcer, then did she really win? And then she's just like, you want to die? Do you want to die? And he's like, oh my God, my queen.
Gets down on one knee. He's like,
I know.
Okay, queen.
I've always trusted you. But all of a sudden she has the sway of the people. You know, and the wedding is coming up, and I think it's very quick. They get married, and Kai doesn't want to go. He's so sad.
Before? No.
Well, before the wedding, Kit does give her a jewelry box and is like, well, this is my mom's stuff. And honestly, it would mean a lot to me if you wore some of her jewelry.
But she didn't wear anything.
No, because she was going to wear it to the slums. Because there was 2.
She opened a letter that was from Kai, I think. And then somebody came for her and she was like, okay, I'll open that jewelry box after. So they go get married. And she had told Kai, don't come to the wedding. Because I'm going to say no if you're there. So then they say, I do, whatever.
And Kai comes running and she's like, oh my gosh, he was going to try to say no.
Yeah, try to.
Oh,
He'd be like, what is it?
I object!
Yeah. He's like, hold on. She was with me last night.
She's in love with the ogre. It's like the whole Shrek scene. I ate that shit up. I'll be very honest with you. I was like, oh my God, he was about to come and he did it. But... okay, she opens the jewelry box when they go to the second wedding thing.
Before they go.
And she's just kind of like, hold on. His mom looks like little old me. And she starts connecting the dots like, wait. Something about roses, something about Callum, who is the main revolutionary guy and who somehow became Kit's right-hand guy. Oh my gosh. Callum is my dad. The queen is my mom. I'm half siblings with Kit, who I just married and kissed. Thoughts?
I knew they were going to be half siblings.
You did?
I felt like a fucking detective.
Dude.
The moment, okay, it's because we had the king's perspective in this story. Edric?
Yes.
Edric? Whatever. I think one of the first chapters, he was like, ugh. She gave birth to an ordinary girl. Get rid of her. Get rid of her. I don't want her. I was like, that's Peyton.
And I don't know if you noticed, Kit throughout the entire story, when Peyton would do something and be like, wow, you look like a queen. It's like you were born for this. It's like,
Yeah, it's very weird. But what I didn't understand is how come no one else noticed this resemblance?
Because
wait,
apparently...
so did the queen have silver hair?
Probably. Can I say something, though? This felt like the Hannah Montana movie where everyone knew the secret about the queen died when she gave birth to Peyton, not to Kit. But everyone, shh, just say it was Kit. And it's like, what is this, Hannah Montana, when she's like, don't tell anyone who I am.
Don't tell anyone my secret identity.
This meme that was like, what would we do as a public if Taylor Swift had a concert and she was like, everyone, I have a confession. I'm Bertha. And it's like, okay, queen, go off. That means nothing to us.
Yeah.
Because, like, what does it mean?
Nothing.
So,
it means nothing. Unless you know Bertha.
Oh my God, Bertha? Bertha? We go way back.
Wait, you borrowed $20 from me.
I got a few things to say to Bertha. Everyone with, like, pitchforks and sticks.
Oh my God. Wait, so through Edric's perspective, and I think through Kit's? No.
Just Edric's.
We realized that the queen was having an affair.
Yes.
But we didn't know with who. Yes. And she didn't know with who until Callum came up to her and was like, I'm your father. He had that moment with her.
And then she realizes he's a dual, which means he has 2 powers. And one of them is, it's like the power of persuasion with your words. And so she's under the impression like, oh my gosh, he's been manipulating Kit this whole time. So when she goes up to Kit and tells him this, like, oh my gosh, we're half siblings and all this. And Callum comes in. Kit's like, got it, done. Kills him.
Wait, so Callum's whole reasoning for this was because he was angry
Mm-hmm.
that she killed the mom died giving birth to her. And so he was like, oh, you're an ordinary, you killed her.
It should have been you.
Therefore, I hate ordinaries.
But isn't it kind of crazy because then he was working with the king, but he was in charge of the revolutionaries?
It makes no sense.
It's like, what are you doing?
Also, the revolutionaries, I felt like nothing came out of that.
No, it was just a club to hang out.
A
One of them had a PS2 and it just became a club. That's what it was.
It felt so like throwaway to me.
Yes.
Like, who cares? I don't care. I don't care.
That's why Mac having is like, this is Mac Attack. I would have loved if he had started his own thing and he got more shit done in a week than they did in the years that
yeah, because Callan doesn't care about the ordinary, so of course nothing would be getting done with his club.
So it's shocking because Kit kills this man and he's never killed anyone. But for some reason, he's like, it's fine. It's Tuesday.
Because I don't care.
It's Tuesday. That's when the trash passes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, it's like, you just killed someone. And Kai runs in.
It's so funny that you say it like that because Kai and Peyton have killed so many people.
Yes.
And they're like, Kit, this isn't you, Kit.
What can I say? I changed. So he, don't forget the cough.
Oh yeah, he's coughing.
Have you heard that joke? These people that were playing like Dungeons and Dragons, and I guess like someone was being like weird about, I might tell this story wrong. Someone was being weird about it because they were all just friends playing, and one guy was like, oh, but my character's lonely, so what if you start dating my character? Like, what if our characters start dating?
Uh-huh.
And it's like this guy was clearly trying to flirt with her and she didn't want to.
Yeah.
So these people had given her the advice. It's like, just slowly kill off your characters. So like during your battles, just be like, by the way, I know we're battling an orc, but there was a little concerning cough that came from my She got for a little too long. Just don't forget that.
This is important for later.
That's Kit. That's Kit's cough.
Mm-hmm.
Just getting a little more. Sorry, guys.
What were you thinking at this point of like him coughing a lot?
So while he's coughing a lot, he just killed someone. Kai comes in and Peyton's like, by the way, we're half siblings. I know.
I've always wanted a brother. Wait, we kissed. What is going on? We're on a step sibling.
I know.
Run right
Step
now.
the tape.
We keep bringing up the tape.
It's funny.
I have to explain it every time.
It's just the tape holding back this water that's coming out that says step.
No. You're not explaining it well.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So there is a tank full of water.
Mm-hmm.
The glass is broken, but there's a tiny little Band-Aid over the crack, right? To hold in all the water. And on the Band-Aid, it says step. But in this case, it would be half. Half siblings.
It's so funny because you bring it up so often because of what we've been reading recently. It sounds like this is like your favorite meme.
I know. It really does sound like it.
Humor right there.
It's not, but I just feel like it is kind of
funny.
It's funny because why have we been reading so many?
It's not, we're not planning to. They just keep throwing it at us.
Yeah, people want this.
So when it's revealed to Kai that they're half siblings, Kai has a moment like, oh my god, Kit killed someone. You can't marry her. If only someone else was available.
And I think at this point they figure out that he's not either of theirs. He's not the king or the queen.
Yes. So
Well, actually, they had thought he had another mother, right?
Mm-hmm. No, they thought that that the king was his dad, but it turned out his dad was just another elite. But he knew that was his mom, the one that was sick. So he knew they had different moms. He just thought they had the same dad.
Okay.
That's when he figures out they're not related at all.
And neither are we.
Oh my god, I'm not related to any of you? I got freedom of choice? Must have for you, Kit.
Uh-huh.
I thought, at this point, I was like, really? You were too scared to kill him off. So what you did was, now there's an opening, they can't get married. And I thought they were going to go out there, sorry guys, I know we just kissed, but y'all forget, right? Don't say this little secret to anyone. We're half siblings.
I really expected them to tell everyone, oh, by the way, we're half siblings, so we need to annul that shit.
And the whole the whole people that hated her, but for some reason love her now would be like, oh no, we understand. Happens all the time.
Love you, queen.
Happened to my boy Ted last week.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it.
But then somebody tells them, I forgot who it was. They were like, no. You should just get married.
It's Kit who's like, no, we already said this. This is such a huge deal. We need to be married for the people now. And Kai's like, this again is marriage talk out of this guy. So then they tell everyone that they're married. And then there's a point where Kit's just sitting with them, just girlies. They're all painting their nails. And Kit's just like, my plan worked. I'm great.
He's
I'm
like,
great.
starts laughing evilly. Like, no, I can't laugh.
I know. And it's like, well, what's up, Kit? What's so great? Yeah, I mean, we're uniting. That's good, right? It's like, no, you don't get it.
No, he revealed that he hates Peyton. He was like,
how did he say
she's
it?
always getting in the way. Wait, if it were me or her, you would pick her.
Oh, you're right. And then they're like, Kit, you good? You're kind of... Sorry to bring this up. You've been coughing a lot. That's kind of...
And he's been like coughing like black stuff.
Yes. So he says this and it's shocking. And then he's like, you guys don't understand. This unity is for the sake of Ilya. What I'm spreading is the plague.
Yeah.
And if I spread the plague...
He's like, no, I'm not spreading it. Peyton spread it.
Yeah, because remember those roses you gave to our girlie? Yeah, I bet they're really liking them now. Yeah. It's because I'm great. I thought it in my noggin. So we're gonna spread the plague. We're gonna kill the ones that don't matter. The ones who are weak. Because why do we need the weak ones? And then everything's good. Everything's good, and it's all thanks to Peyton. And then at the end, it could be you and me, brother. Like we've always wanted.
Yeah.
I really thought that Peyton was going to die, like trial 2. But she just kept...
Trial 1.
As the quote says, she persisted. I was so done by this point. Because I was like, they're going to kill him off. They're going to have to. This book is almost done. So either there's going to be a book 4, because I didn't know it was a trilogy. Either there's going to be a book 4, or he's going to die a very tragic death. And he's going to be like, I'm sorry, JK. And then he passes away.
I'm so sorry, guys. I really didn't want Kit to die. No? I felt like...
You were a Kit supporter?
I wasn't at all.
No, I was.
You were? Yeah, you were a huge Kit supporter. You loved him. But like, I just kind of felt like he's in the way. Like, move. But that doesn't mean I wanted him to die. I just wanted him to go, like, find happiness somewhere else. And so when he was turning evil, it kind of felt so like cliched. It kind of felt like comical, like oh, he's the evil villain, he's the mastermind, because he even said himself, oh, you thought that Callum was influencing me? No, I influenced him.
I hate
so he infected himself.
With the plague when they had left in trial 2 because he wanted to be stronger than the plague.
That's so dumb. Like, but then they even have like I think it's in Edric's perspective when Edric is telling his son, by the way, Peyton's evil. Like, don't trust her.
He's not evil, Dad. I love you so much. She's not evil. And then it turned out that he did exactly what Dad said. And he was like, dang. Can't trust a woman in these parts.
These slums. Damn. It just didn't make sense to me.
And then the entire part, because, okay, Kai is trying to calm him down. He's like, bro, I'm your bro. Connect foreheads. We're brothers. We're brothers. And, they start fighting and Kai pulls out a knife and strikes and then stabs Kit. And he was like, Kit, you were supposed to dodge. This is our old 1-2 tango. You know this, but we were supposed to dodge.
Because they've been sparring since forever.
And Kit's just like, ugh.
I forgot.
So he forgot because of the plague. It's taking his mind. And this feels like the end of Macbeth, I think, when the character's dying for a really long time.
Yes! He died for a long time. I was like...
And he kept repeating the same stuff.
I already forgot what it was.
He kept repeating, I'm so sorry. I just love you so much, my brother Kai, and just Kai only. Kai, you're so important.
Oh.
I love you.
Oh, Peyton, what are you doing here? Get out of here, please.
Peyton,
This is my moment.
Can you please actually shine light on my beautiful brother so I can see him? Kai, you're the one. You're the real one.
And at this point, Kai is asking Peyton to go get a healer.
Go get a healer. You gotta go get one. And he's trying really hard, like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. And then Kit starts saying, like, I'm scared. Dude, I was crying. I'll be real. It makes me so it makes me so sad when characters get childlike before death. But we're like, I'm scared. I don't know what's gonna happen. And
Yeah.
like, hold on, kid. Stop freaking out.
If you freak out, I freak out.
I was so nervous. So I was like, he has to make it.
Mm-hmm.
But then his body goes stiff, and he has like a daze, just looking straight ahead. He's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when a healer finally rushes in. Which, Lauren, I don't know if you know this. If the healer made it to the door by the time Kit died, couldn't Kai have technically felt the proximity of the healer?
That's what I was thinking too.
And used it?
Like, what is the radius here? Like, how far?
Because it seemed like it was pretty far. He was like, there's this.
I don't think he wanted to bring him back.
I know. Brother, I'm trying.
I'm trying. I don't feel the healer.
A healer comes out from, like, he was like cleaning he was putting the door back together. He was just like, oh, sorry. Did you? Oh no, we did. Give us one.
Take that.
Just no healer. Leave right now. It's like, no healers, brother. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he passes away, and before he passes, it comes back. Oh wait, sorry. Takes off his ring, and he's like, "Love each other for me."
Oh my god.
Bye, brother. Dies.
Mm-hmm.
Kai finally breaks his stoic expression. He's hold the whole book.
Yeah.
And screams for his brother. He's crying. And Peyton, for the next few chapters, is just his rock.
Just trying to be there for him.
Mm-hmm. And
they bury him by the willow tree. Under the willow tree.
Oh, because he didn't want to be
next
alone.
to the willow tree.
Above the willow tree. The willow
tree casket.
Honestly, they didn't want to bury him. He's just right there. So
he's inside. Why are we making
the willow tree?
That is so sad. I think
Man was put in resin. He's just there now. It's not.
It's not funny. We laugh so we don't cry.
I'm saying that, but I was actually like so moved. And the thing that got me, that also was kind of cringy, was after 6 days of mourning Kit, they go to his room because he did mention to Kai, his beautiful brother, that there were some letters he left behind. Some were just like incoherent, like babblings, and then others were letters written to certain people. But through these letters, we see Kit was incredibly unstable.
Yeah.
And he had such a fixation with wanting to be better than his dad. And he just didn't understand why his dad never was proud of him. So he did whatever his dad wanted. And then when his dad died, he was like, I'm gonna be better than he ever was.
Yeah.
But then he starts realizing, like, my brother Kai, the one who I thought I always trusted, is in love with someone. Does he love her more than me? That's crazy. He wouldn't. And he just continues this back and forth, like, oh my God, he's going to betray me. He's going to leave me because of her. Yeah. If I get rid of her, I got my brother all to myself.
So he's been trying to get rid of her.
Yes. So,
like I said, I knew it. I was like, he's been trying to kill her.
But I don't remember if in the letters he does mention, though, it's so hard to dislike her. That's it. That's the only good thing I have to say about her. Peace. That's it. And Peyton has a moment with Kai where she's like, he never liked me. And he was like, it wasn't that. It was that
No, he
you
liked
just
you.
sucked.
He liked you.
No, he did. You were just
You guys
everything
kissed.
he hated. Yeah, you kissed though. Think about that, huh? Actually, don't think about that. That makes me so angry. So he didn't hate you. You were just in the way of what he wanted. You needed to understand that. And Peyton was like, I know you just wanted all of this. Can you blame him? Peyton, I guess, understood. Didn't have any hatred towards him. And guess what? That's the end. They have the ring. They get married. Very intimate. Just invite all their friends.
They didn't tell anyone what happened, though, because they wanted his memory, his legacy to be of a kind king. And also, they received a letter from that other queen. I forgot her name.
Who was just like, JK, we didn't use the roses because we knew.
No, she was like, I'm assuming these roses didn't come from you. I'm assuming it came from the king. I heard he died. LOL. R.I.P. I guess. Just so you know, I know what the roses had. They had the little plate or whatever. Yeah. But I'm smarter than you think.
But I'm also a boss-ass bitch. I ate all the roses and I spit out a cure. Thanks.
That's what
I'm just a girly like that. Yeah. No, but she ended up not using any of the roses. That was resolved really quickly. Kai and Peyton just get married. No one questions it. I think it's kind of funny that the entire kingdom of Ilya mourned Kit when it seemed like no one liked him.
They were like, wait,
him.
He was kind of nice.
Yeah. I swear I liked him since day one. His 4 days of kinghood.
They really slapped.
And 3 of those days he was in his room.
Oh yeah, throwing away the food. Forgot about that.
But it just ends with Kai and Peyton getting married. They're very happy. They only invite their closest friends, which is just Kai's family because everyone's dead.
Oh my god!
And 5 years later, they
have a daughter named Poppy.
Kit.
Oh my god, Kit! Yeah,
her name is Kit.
Yeah, I don't know.
They were in the poppy field.
They were in the poppy field. Yeah,
they should have named her Poppy because them naming her Kit felt like the end of Harry Potter. Like, this is my son. Every character I've ever interacted with. Albus, Severus, Mad Eye, that guy named Ted that I met at McDonald's. Like, it's everything. And it's like, really? I was expecting 2 kids to run out. Like, this is Kit, my girl, and this is my boy, Dean. That's what I was waiting for it.
Cute. That was
I couldn't wait. No, but, he got to name.
They only had a daughter.
Yeah.
She wasn't pregnant, right? It was just one kid?
Yeah, it was just one kid.
Okay.
And they're just so in love.
And that's the moment when she sees Blair. Because remember, everybody thought that Blair was dead because that's what they wanted us to believe. But Blair had the scar from what she did to her. And she was just like, and I just let her go.
Wow, I'm so grown up. And they lived happily. Oh, everyone's trading now. And they lived happily ever after.
The end.
All the things you said, running through my head, running through my head. This is when everyone stands up in the movie and there's a 30-minute applause. We're just all clapping.
Yeah.
Wow.
Go ahead. You first.
No, I think...
No, you first.
No! Okay, fine. You know me.
I know you.
You know me
this,
so well.
This series was your shit. So I just want to know, how did the ending live up for you? Also, was it a big shock that it was over? Like, were you like...
I thought there was a book 4. And I was like, what the heck? Why'd they get married in 2 pages? So it was crazy. Much happened.
I knew it was the end. So by the time that, like, Kit was gone and we had, like, there was like, what, an hour left in the audiobook, I think?
Yes.
Or maybe 2. And I was just like, oh my God, how are they going to solve this plague in these 2 hours?
Yep. They did, because they're just good like that.
No.
So I want to start off by saying that I think Lauren Roberts has a beautiful way of writing poetically. I think that the ideas she had going into this book were really good. And then the connections people made with Red Queen, Hunger Games, and all that. I am willing to excuse that for a second. Just for a second. Put it over there. Because if this were a world she created, I really liked the idea of like the elites, the mundanes, the ordinaries. I like the idea of this person coming from the slums and being part of these trials and her finding love there, but love with the person who's meant to win.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds so good, right?
Yeah.
Everything was executed poorly. And I feel like the biggest downfall of all these books is the repetitiveness of it. It felt like nothing happened, even though I had to spend my life reading, 19 hours worth of a book?
Yeah.
For it to be something you could have told me in a text.
Oh, so wait, you agree? You agree about the email.
I was so disappointed with this book.
Oh.
I was so disappointed.
Oh.
The only thing that really meant a lot to me was the brothership of it.
Mm-hmm.
But then when it came to him just being obsessive over his brother, it just felt so out of character. Like I knew he was losing his mind, but I really wanted his letters to feel like what he was with Kai before. But it didn't. It was just like, oh my, this bitch was crazy. Like I wanted it to be more than what it was.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
To have more meaning to his end,
and
honestly.
I can't. I don't know your religious identity, Lauren. But the fact that this book ended with him going to elite heaven and it was like,
oh my god, I forgot about that.
Last chapter is Kit. Like, so this is it, huh?
He sees darkness and then
he feels kind of at peace because he's like, at least now I'm not hurting. Yeah. Now
he has like a clear mind now.
But I'm just so alone.
Oh, and then he sees two lights. Are
they supposed to be Adina and Mac?
Oh, I thought it was his parents.
Was it? I don't think his dad. That like
no. That's why I wanted to ask you because like I didn't know who they were, and
but
Adina and Mac
familiar though.
Makes more sense because they were like nicer. But he also said that in death, like everything that you were before, everything that you cared about, kind of like disappears. It's like you don't really associate with that anymore.
Then why would those orbs come up to him?
So these orbs are like, oh, we'll keep you company until you see your brother again. So I thought, oh, it's his parents and like they're chill now because it's death. I don't know. But you're right. Like the dad was not a good person. So I don't know who it's supposed to be.
So I was under the impression that it was Adina and Mac. But then that's supposed to be our closure for Kit. So I'm like, you're telling me I had to wait for him to get to elite heaven, which honestly, I don't think he deserved that much. Just for me to be like, wow, his happy ending.
Well, it wasn't really like heaven. It was just peace. It was just like, it's not like he was, so it's not like he was like chilling. Like, hey, angels, what's up?
I know, it's Kid. Listen to my playlist I made about how much I love my brother. It was weird.
I took it more so as like, okay, in death, like, nothing really matters anymore.
And I get that. I get it. It didn't need to happen, though.
I agree. I mean, it felt weird. I honestly was expecting, like, the brother to show up. And I was like, oh my god, are we going to experience his death here?
I know. It's like that one telenovela where it, like, goes from their marriage up until they die. Do you remember that one?
No.
Oh my god. It was crazy. But, okay. So, that was, to me, was weird. But also just the fact that Mac, who one of the only characters I really, really cared about, his finale was his death. It just felt like, what are you trying to tell me? And also, that was the only way he could find peace?
Yeah, and also, like, there was nothing to his character besides just trying to add depth to Adina. And that was, like, Mac deserved his own arc. Like, he deserved something. And even if, like, he didn't make it at the end, at least have him fight before that, you know?
Because it could have been nice if he was just like, these revolutionaries, okay, I'm good at figuring shit out, so I'm gonna try my best to see how I can help. Because apparently, like, this girl meant a lot to Adina, so I want to try to help her as much as I can. And his anger was justified, but it just didn't make any sense to me.
It didn't make any sense to me because you literally had a moment where these two characters hugged, and that felt like closure. Like, that felt like, okay,
Yes.
She loved you. She loved you also. Happy for you. But then in the next moment that they're together, he's trying to kill her. So what was the hug
What was
for?
the point of that? It was just all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And then because this book was so long, just the repeating of everything. I know about this plague. Honestly, I don't care who has the plague at this point. I know that the freaking the beast never gets the beauty. I heard it.
Guess what? We knew that he was gonna get her. So.
I know. So stop. And just the pining. I hated it. Okay. I hated it so much. And everything was caused because Kit and Kai just couldn't tell each other, by the way, I like her. I like her, by the way. Because the biggest thing for Kai in book 1, book 2, and some of book 3 was the fact that he was like, I'm the enforcer. I have to care how people look. But tell me why this bitch, the beginning of the first 5 pages of this book is like, I don't care how people look at me. And it's like, what? You did what? What happened?
Oh,
what
yeah,
did I miss?
Because someone almost attacked Peyton and he was like immediately like, no. And like, I think pushed them away or something. And he was like, I don't care how I look in front of all of these people.
The way that Peyton and Kai just played with this the entire book, knowing that if they were found out could have caused a lot of ordinaries to die. Mm-hmm. And they would just be like, just put the ring on another finger. Wow, it comes off so easily. That's what I'm going to do. It's like, shut up.
But it didn't really feel like the stakes were that high because Kit's feelings towards Peyton, and at this point we didn't know that they were half siblings, it was so ambiguous. Mm-hmm. Like, we didn't know how he felt about her at all. Like, it did feel like he had romantic interest in her in the first book.
Yes.
But now it's like, wait, so...
I wish he would have. Oh. I wish he would have, just so that I can have some peace. I just needed something to hold on to, because right now, there's nothing to latch on to. Mm-hmm. Only when I had Mac Attack, he's gone.
He's gone. It's sad.
That being said, the other books that I so graciously gave a 5, but then switched it to a 2 after talking to you.
The second one you gave a 5?
Yeah, I think I did. I think I gave a 2 as well. But I gave them 5s in my heart because I love the characters.
Okay.
I was so there for that.
Because I was going to say, when we talked about Powerless, you were like...
I have more to say.
You were like, I have more to say in the second one because you weren't that happy with it.
I wasn't, but I ate it up because I loved the characters. And I had to switch my Goodreads, and I was so embarrassed because I knew people were going to go, hey, Cheli, sorry, you good? Because I saw your 5 change to 2, and I'm kind of worried about you. So I knew.
And I saw your Instagram post, and you really loved this book. What happened?
What happened? Are you okay? And then my concerning cough. Fine.
Don't ask me.
I think I'm going to give this book... I think I'm going to give this book like a 2. Wow. 1.75.
Really?
Maybe. I am so disappointed. And the thing is, before I read this book, I did check it on Goodreads. I didn't read any of the comments, but I did look it up to put want to read on it because I like to do that. If any of you want to follow our Goodreads on Linktree, linktr.ee/thebookfix, that I kind of do that so that when people start following us, they're like, wow, they're going to talk about that soon.
Oh, yeah. That's good to know.
So I do that for that reason. And I saw that the stars are really high. So I was like, oh my gosh, this book's going to eat.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat it up. I'm going to love it. Page 1, I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Really?
I think I'm going to say a 1.5.
Wow, you hated it.
And I'm sad because it did get me. I love the idea of brothers. And I love the idea of Kit just being so scared, even though he had to be so great. But nothing landed. I'm so sorry, Lauren.
I agree with literally everything you've said. Even you loving the characters. Because I agree with you. I love like parts of the story. Like I like the mundanes, the elites, the ordinaries, like the way that the world was built. And we are going to talk about the comparisons of this story and Red Queen once we read Red Queen. Okay. Comment down below if we should review Red Queen.
So nice.
So we could be like, hold on, maybe it did copy it. I like the idea of this story. And even in the first one, I liked it, but there was just so many questions that I had that I just felt like I couldn't in my heart give it anything higher than a 3.
I get it.
So going into this book, I really felt like, because of the length, I felt like questions were going to be answered. Like, like things of, like, for example, the whole, is there another enforcer on hold? Like, is someone else just kind of like waiting? And then also they did answer that question of like, okay, but when did this plague start? It started 3 decades ago.
Yep.
But also, I still don't really understand the plague itself. Like, so they said it was man-made, but for what?
And
just
also,
to control population?
For the plague to be so infectious, why did no one get it when Kit had it?
Yeah. He kissed his sister.
I know. All of a sudden, she starts coughing.
Oh my god.
It's freaking gripa. It's just the cold.
It's just the cold. That's the common cold. That's it.
Oh my god. I don't get it.
So in this book, I did like other parts of it. I do like the idea of her having to go through these like 3 trials and like having to prove to her people that she's worthy of being the queen. But even though I love a badass girly, I do. Okay, I love it. It just felt so unrealistic. Like, you're telling me that countless people have tried to find this crown and this girl doesn't even struggle. Like, she just goes in, gets it, and leaves. And she fights these bandits like nothing. Like, I just wanted, like, I understand that the story is already long enough. Girl, you could have made it into 4 books, whatever. Yep. And then the second trial, it was like Cheli said, like, she stabbed it with a spear and then was it dead or did it disappear? I'm not sure. Yep. It was just, that monster was gone. And even the fact that the whole, like, the other queen knowing that the plague was in the roses, like, part of me is happy that she knew because, okay, we wrapped it up. But another part of me is disappointed because, so then what was nothing happened.
And then it's funny because the logic behind how she knew was like, she's just good like that. She knows everything. Yeah. That doesn't explain it. Yeah. Like, that makes no sense to me. I'm not happy with that outcome.
You know what I would have wished? I would have wished that she would have, like, thrown the roses away or something. Or, like, burned it in front of her and just been like, I don't want this. Like, I don't need your healing things. Like, let me think about it. You know what I mean? Like, I would have preferred that. That would have made more sense. And then maybe she could have lied to Kit and been like, oh, yeah, she took the roses. Yeah,
they took it.
She loved the roses. Thank you for that. That would have made more sense to me, maybe. So even that whole, like, wrapping that up with a little bow just felt so stupid. I hated the lack of arc for Mac. And I hated how, I don't know, like, at the end, like, what was the point?
What was the point?
What was the point of the story?
Because also Kai didn't want to be king. And by the end, they're happy and everything's good. Both of them weren't royalty trained. They're just good.
Yeah, they're just good
people.
And
also the king and queen, who apparently needed guard at all time, can just be out in the poppy fields.
Oh, yeah. That's it? Okay.
And no one hates them and everyone's good and there's no racism. Like, that's crazy to me. That makes no sense.
I don't know. I just feel like I feel like I want to give it like a 3, but that just feels so generous.
You're too nice right now.
Like a 2.5.
That is way too nice right now. Even me, who cried to this book.
I didn't cry to this book, but
there's so much that I love.
But I could visualize a lot of it. And I know that when this gets adapted, I'm hoping that they'll fix those plot holes and it's going to slay our lives. Like, I'm really, really hoping.
Here's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up because I was holding it in my mind. The fact that after the first book, this got announced that they want to adapt it into, I think, a show. Why?
Or a movie. Because it's so popular.
That's so lame. This isn't... How can an editor look at this and like it?
Okay, they like Bridgerton.
Oh my god. I can't.
They made Bridgerton better, so.
That's true. They made it better than what it was.
Yeah.
and they concealed the parts that were not great.
Kind of.
Kind of. It sucks because I actually really like Lauren Roberts as a person.
Yeah, she was so nice. We saw her at a panel.
She was so cool.
And she was so sweet. And I feel like we would be great friends. I'm just saying.
And honestly, we would not have read Powerless if it weren't for the fact that we just liked her so much. Because we knew about it, but I don't think it was on any of our radars.
No, I think we had other stuff that we wanted to read. But we really liked her personality a lot. So we
moved it up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like she has really good ideas. So that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not like willing to read anything else she puts out. I'm just hoping that whatever she puts out next will be more heavily edited and they'll spot plot holes and there'll be less repetition.
I am a little sad though that after 4 books it didn't get better.
Yeah.
So just really think the next one through. Maybe don't read any other books because then you're gonna
oh my god.
Then I'm just gonna take this idea and that idea and this idea.
Hey, you don't know. You don't know.
Well, I mean, I think there's no such thing as an original concept.
That's
Everything
true.
is borrowed. But I'm just saying a joke. I don't actually I don't know because I haven't read The Red Queen.
I read it a long time ago and I told you this when we talked about Powerless. That it did remind me of the Red Queen, but besides their first meeting, I couldn't really remember other details.
Okay, I don't know, so I can't say. I'm so sad,
but I'm very interested to see what other people think about the book. What if other people love it and it's just us? We're the problem.
I know. We'll read reviews right now, but before I let it go, I do want to say, Lauren, it's still a 5 in my heart. It's still a 5 in my heart.
The series.
Yes. I have the cars are in my trunk. Like I feel the books are in my trunk of my car. I feel like this is a series I'm going to come back to because there were so many good lines.
Yeah.
That I just love the way it was executed. But that's kind of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm so sorry to let this go.
If I were to rate the series, 2.5.
I'd give it a 3. I think it deserves that for me. Okay, to anyone who is watching us, to anyone who's listening to us, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or anywhere you get your podcast on, thank you so much. If you could please leave a rating of 5 stars because it really does help us, and a review recommending us our next read, that would be great. I think I just need a pick-me-up. I need a 5-star. So
please send us your favorite 5-star
I want you to send me the book that you always come back to. What's that book for you? I feel like that'd be great.
That'd be really fun.
If they want to support us and they have a little bit of extra money, what can they do?
If you're looking for another way to support us just a little bit more, we do have a Patreon, which you can find at patreon.com/bookfix. But if you don't want something that's monthly, we do also have a Ko-fi, which is ko-fi.com/thebookfix, or buymeacoffee.com/thebookfix.
If you are watching us on YouTube, thank you so much. If you can like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because we post every Tuesday and Thursday. I feel like y'all need to follow the journey that we went through with all of the Powerless books that we read.
Oh my god, when we were drunk.
We were gone. Please go watch those episodes because those were some of my favorites.
Yeah,
so
they were fun.
Go check them out. It would be great. If you want to support us on social media, or if you want to find our book clubs on Goodreads or Fable, you can check our link tree, linktr.ee/thebookfix. If you don't want to do any of that social media, don't want to join the book club, but still want to recommend, we do also have a Google Forms document on our link tree that you can fill out in order to recommend us a book. Thank you. Okay, why don't we read a positive and negative?
Okay, which one do you want?
What do you want?
I'll do the negative.
Okay, I'll do positive. This got a 4.4 overall. Isn't that crazy?
Well, maybe we're the problem.
Maybe we are.
Okay, so this comes from Cell. They gave it 1 out of 5 and they wrote, "Totally disappointed. I expected so much more. It's so badly written. The plot is totally the worst. This book has a whole lot of potential and they just go to the drain. The way things turn is just like, wait, you must be kidding me. No, are you serious? This is how it's going? I really enjoyed Powerless, but this is such a no. Sad face.
This comes from Herika, who gave it a 5 out of 5. And she wrote 6 stars. This was definitely the perfect end to this series, but are we okay? Because this book sent me spiraling in every possible direction. I felt every emotion. I literally cried through half of it. The pain was so unreal. This story was a full emotional roller coaster, and I was not okay at any point. It broke me in the best and worst ways. I love Kai and Peyton so much it actually hurts. And now that it's over, I feel so empty, like genuinely hollow. I don't know what to do with myself. I can't believe this is the last book. This series completely consumed me, and I'll be thinking about it for the rest of my life.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye. I'm gonna screenshot this. Someone wrote back to that and just wrote love and put a pregnant person. Reviews are so funny.
Some people are so hilarious.
I don't really get it.
I love looking at letterbox reviews because they're so unhinged.
Really?
It's just so funny. Like, oh my god. Like, we watched the Final Destination series. We were doing like a marathon, basically. And in the third one, have you seen them? Mm-mm. So in the third one, it's like universally, I feel like it's everyone's favorite.
Yeah.
And even when I was, before Letterboxd, before I, had people telling me in my ear, I feel like I also really preferred that one because the main character is the girl who comes out in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
So that one. And it's just so funny to read the comments or the reviews because everyone basically like agrees that it's the best one. But the way that they like review it is just so funny. Oh.
They're all normal reviews.
No. It's just like, find me a scene from the entire history of cinema that is more stressful than the tanning bed scene. I'll wait.
That's so funny.
The world is so tough on girls with bangs. 5 out of 5.
People are so good.
What if we kissed on the Final Destination roller coaster? 4 out of 5 stars.
That's so funny. I love that.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead, the main character, delivers a line. Me. She's so powerful. It's just like, I just love.
We need to start writing reviews like that.
I'm
for
not
books.
funny like that though.
We could do it. Our two brains together.
Just like rubbing together.
We're, dare I say, book 1.5 powerful. Thank you.
Well.
Okay, well maybe.
Well, maybe that wasn't. That one was sad. So.